This is one of the most dangerous soldiers in the ancient world, a Greek hoplite, a citizen soldier in heavy bronze armor carrying a round shield called an aspis, 3 feet across, nearly 17 pounds. He looks formidable. Now look at his right side. No shield coverage. Exposed ribs, thigh, neck. His aspis doesn't protect him. It protects the man standing to his left, and the man to his right holds the only shield keeping him alive. Welcome to the Phalanx, a formation where survival was never in your own hands. The Greeks turned this vulnerability into a system. The Phalanx, a dense rectangular block of armored infantry. The word means something like roller, evoking a mass rolling across a plain. Typical dimensions: hundreds of men wide, 8 ranks deep, shoulder to shoulder in close order, each man occupying roughly 3 feet of frontage, close enough that shields touch. This isn't a crowd. It's a locked geometric structure where every man is a component. Each soldier carries a dory, a thrusting spear, 7 to 9 feet long. From the front, the phalanx was a wall of bronze and a forest of spear points. The core inside of the phalanx is the shield overlap. Look at the formation from above. Each aspis, gripped on the left arm, extends roughly 18 inches past the bearer's left side. That overhang covers the right flank of the man to his left, the exact spot his own shield leaves exposed. Repeat this across the entire front rank. Every man's shield protects his neighbor. Every man is protected by the neighbor to his right. The result? A continuous overlapping shield wall with no gaps. Pull one man out and a hole opens. Not just for him, but for his neighbor, whose right side is now exposed. An isolated hoplite is half defended and half blind. Inside the formation, every vulnerability disappears. The phalanx doesn't enhance an individual soldier. It creates him. Now look at the formation from the side. The first rank fights directly, spear thrusting at the enemy line. The second rank thrusts over the first rank's shoulders. The third rank extends reach over the second. Beyond rows 3, spears cannot reach the enemy. Those rear 5 ranks serve critical purposes. They fill gaps when front rank soldiers fall, provide forward pushing pressure, and anchor the formation psychologically. The front 3 rows are the phalanx teeth. The back 5 are its spine. The phalanx was not randomly filled. Front ranks held men aged 25 to 35, experienced enough to hold steady, strong enough to fight at peak intensity. Middle ranks absorbed younger recruits around 20 and older soldiers past 40, learning the system by proximity. The very last row, seasoned veterans, not a reward, a responsibility. Their job was to hold firm and prevent the formation from unraveling from behind. Every rank was deliberately engineered. This all sounds elegant. Here's what happened when it went wrong. A front rank soldier falls. The man directly behind him faces a terrible choice. Every instinct says, run. The person ahead just died, doing exactly what he must now do. Discipline demands he step forward over the body and seal the gap. If he does, the line holds. If he doesn't, enemies pour through the breach. They don't just push forward. They turn sideways, attacking neighboring hoplites from the unshielded right side. The one side left exposed without an intact formation. Their neighbor falls, the gap doubles, then doubles again. One breach widens like a cracking glass, radiating outwards through the line. This is why depth existed, not for fighting power, but for redundancy. 8 ranks meant 7 replacement bodies ready to step forward before the crack could spread. Once spears shattered, and they often did, the battle became a shoving match. Shield pressed against shield, chest braced against the back of the man ahead, rear ranks leaned forward, generating collective pressure along the entire depth of the formation. At a critical moment, one side might execute a coordinated heave, the osismos, literally the push, toppling the enemy's front rank and cracking open their formation. More depth meant more mass. More mass meant more force. Some scholars debate whether this was literal physical shoving or a metaphor for sustained pressure. Either interpretation confirms the same point, depth decided the outcome. Most Greek hoplites were part-time citizen soldiers, farmers who barely trained. The skills required were basic: march, hold your position, push, stab. Sparta was the sole exception. Citizens freed from all labor, trained from childhood, drilled constantly. They almost always won. When the phalanx failed, it didn't erode. It shattered from the back forward. Rear-rank soldiers couldn't see the fighting but could feel the formation being pushed backward. They made a calculation and ran. The collapse cascaded forward until front-rank soldiers found no one behind them. They ran too. The heavy aspis made flight nearly impossible, so fleeing hoplites dropped their shields, the single most shameful act in Greek military culture. "Come back with your shield or on it," Spartan mothers supposedly said. The shame wasn't vanity. Dropping your shield meant you'd abandoned the man beside you, broken the collective bond that kept the formation alive. The phalanx was not just a military formation, it was a physical embodiment of the city-state's social contract. Your shield protected your neighbor, his protected you. This was fundamentally different from the warfare Homer described, the age of Achilles, where a single champion fought for individual glory. In the phalanx, courage meant holding your position in a collective system. The coward didn't just endanger himself, he killed the man beside him. Two models of warfare, two definitions of bravery. The same interdependence that made the phalanx nearly invincible made its failure total. No fallback position, no flexible response, no fighting retreat. It held or it shattered, strength through interdependence, fragility through that same interdependence, a pattern that echoes far beyond ancient Greece. Return to the single hoplite, same bronze armor, same exposed right side, alone, one of the most vulnerable soldiers on any ancient battlefield. Shoulder to shoulder with his neighbors, shield overlapping shield, he became part of the most dominant military system the Mediterranean had ever seen, as long as no one broke.